Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burned your whole beard off. Rejoice despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Fragmentation and reunification around symbols, institutions, hierarchies, structures. It's interesting to me to watch you very winsomely and compellingly create a vision for reunification. And so I see all those pieces and I say, none of this is incidental.
Like, how does this work?
This is deep in your story.
Mm.
I do believe Eastern churches will have a role to play, and if there is ever a true reunion of the Catholic Church with the Orthodox Church, I'm not talking about a political one just for expedient reason. I'm talking about an actual theological, reunification between the two churches. The Eastern Catholic Church is going to play a major role in that.
At least hope that's where we are. Where we're at the point where we're reunifying because it seems necessary, but it's also, it seems like it's one of those mythologically reoccurring themes.
Yes.
And I think that the approach that you take as a minister, of course, as a pastor, is important because it's trying to do the same thing, I think, to a degree that maybe other people are trying to do in a more secular fashion, which is to bring people back to these foundational stories. And the reason why I think that the character arc's mission to me is important is because what I'm hoping, at least, and what it seemed to have been able to do in the past is be like a gateway towards a deeper understanding of the religious stories.
What does the kingdom of God look like, or the parousia, the reconciliation of all things, when we as saints or the church or the bride of Christ mend the division and reunify the things? What does reunification look like? Because if being entails duality and division and night and day and differences, what then does reconciliate? And somehow this is connected to a thing I've been contemplating, and I don't even know what it means, but it's something. Being is good, creation is good, God is good, and we stop trying to conform everything to our image and to our judgments and the way that we think it should be. And then simultaneously, and I know this makes no sense, but simultaneously nothing changes and everything changes.
Luke, this is the new heaven and the new earth, okay? So you have this teleological new heaven and new earth, the destruction of all things. But it's fractal, right? When you reconcile things, multiplicities, particulars, when you bring them together in your own life, in your mind, let's say, suddenly you're living in a new heaven and a new earth. Right? Nothing is the same anymore. This is what reconciliation does, right? Reconciliation creates new heavens and new earths. Every single day, it does that.
This broadcast brought to you by executive producers, Upcycle Club, and the German philosopher. Welcome to the Aloha Republic, Man I Fest reality stream for the second day in October of 2024. Hi, I'm Griswold Gaius Grimm. I'm a general in a fictional army of lobster monkeys coming to save you from yourselves. What? Aloha Republic is a stream that we're gonna do. The Republic was just rescued by the mainstream alternative media, including our good friend Russell Brand, the Messiah Complex guy. You ever saw that joke show? Ha! Welcome. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and do the other things the algorithm likes for you to do, so it knows that I'm a good show.
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling us exactly what he thinks.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, so say we all. And some of you are only here for the savings throws against mind control offered, as far as I know, only on this show. And to get one, all you have to do is choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your resistance to the mind control. I roll the die. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control in this stream and the rest of your day. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. But hey, at least you got a mind control savings throw. And as you know, you can get bonuses from chatting in the hive mind, replay comments, and the other things. that the algorithm likes, apply those liberally. You can also get a 7 Indigo bonus from members in the YouTube chat with their fancy emoji powers. They simply do colon 7 Indigo colon, I think. To give you one, it's pretty fancy. Yes. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survival is coming in with disciples today. That's a 12 for them. Socialist, the number of transformation, 11. 11 for you. Wisdom, folks. Oh, Verveki, watch out. You only got a 6 today. A 6 today. Heart, folks, getting prime 17. And the Indigo kids pairing it up with the socialists. The Indigo kids have paired it up with the socialists. Welcome, everybody. We're gonna be doing some fun stuff today, but it's usually after a significant amount of branding.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Oh shoot, where was I going with this? Attention.
What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile?
That's very exciting. Hello. I see the assassins have failed.
Oh, see, if you share the tab and then go full screen like that. Here. Now, the thing of it is, I currently, according to the Hive Mind chat here, I have the valuable attention of one Pastor Paul Vanderclay, who's lamenting the amount of branding I play. So, for you, I have this. Let's see, we'll do a little fast. There we go, 1.5. How about that? Now, see, what happened was, is a lot of people are subscribed and members to this Pastor Paul Vanderclay show because he likes to make videos every day. And that we all watch them together can all bind us together. And so that's part of it. And then one of the videos that he made recently was this one over here called Join the Resistance / Rescue the Republic. What are your thoughts?
Media basically sees that this is an important thing, but decides not to cover it so as to keep its numbers low. Could be. Or is it really just something that's odd and they can't figure out what it is, so they ignore it? Or it just doesn't hit their relevance realization or their salience, and so they just ignore it. So I don't know. And I'm super curious to hear what you think, because you who leave comments always give me new ideas to think. And in almost any situation over the last 7 years since I've been making videos, I do read the comments, and I almost always gain from them. And even if a comment is critical of me, I can almost always take something away that I think, yeah, well, they might hate my guts or think I'm an idiot or all of those things. But when I listen to them talk, I can learn from it and I can gain from it. So I'm really curious, and I'd really love to hear from people who were there. I'd love to know audience size. How many people did it actually attract? I don't know that. You know,
the last I heard on that was 25,000. 25,000.
I don't know when they started planning this thing. I'm not entirely sure of. Often with if you're going to have a big event like this, it's usually helpful that there be one clear outcome from the event. For
Oh, don't worry. We have that for you, Pastor Paul. You see, our good leader and lobster in charge, Papa Peterson's, here at an hour and 30 minutes and 11 seconds into it, says the following. Let's share this tab instead. Look, he wore his jester costume.
You see, because it turns out that we live by stories. In fact, what a story appears to be something like the description of the value structure through which we look at the world. And you know, people are very attracted to stories. We're trying to get our story straight here today. We're trying to get the story of the country and the West straight. Stories matter. And
you go. That's the overall arching goal of Rescue the Republic from Russell Brand. Rescue the Republic. But let's see. Where are we with more branding? What? Yes. Oh, hey, kayfabe.
Did you get that on video? No. I'm not going to. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator is obviously. You got that? Send me that. 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 Hey, yo. I just feel bad for this game. My God. Yes, okay.
Oh, looks like Kale did a whole class on remember. Maybe you can interpret remember embody to the body of the church. Maybe that. Canadian deck card of the show is the deuce. The deuce of spades. Digging a little deeper, perhaps? We don't even know. Thank you. I specifically found it. Oh, wait, where were we? Yes, some in his top secret membership section, Pastor Paul Vanderklay says the following.
Whole channel, but I do want to get some of these done, and I do want to put them in context, and we do have some really great content being made on the smaller channels, and I just know the way YouTube works that a lot of people aren't going to be seeing these, and you know, we don't really have a sufficiently active clip economy. You know, Grim Grizz was hauling all of that water for a while. And, you know, just people just get busy and move on to other things.
Oh, people's lives fall apart into various states of shamble, but we can always go over to the Discord, the Broken Clock Tower Discord, where all those things have been and would have been happening until we move to Matrix. That's going to be fun. The clip stream in the Reaper's Hall is where we find such things. That only got one vote. Nobody's voting. See, if anybody... Look, there's one with Andrea.
So I know that we all are on a certain like rung of the ladder in our journey, like further up and further in, you know, and I suppose sometimes it's more valleys and than up. It feels more like a down, and that's where we learn our humility. And so I would say, like, just to keep going, and that's great. And I think it's really fantastic. Like, this is one of the things that's good about the internet, is finding people who you're like, oh, no one in my life talks about such things, and I think about these things, and no one's up for chatting about them with me. So I think that that's really great. And I hope that it continues to like sort of ripple out in a positive way.
That was so amazing when Agent Baxter got Agent Carter on his stream. If you've never found her, she's got this great one with James Lindsay, where you get to see his human side of the stiff upper lip man himself. Meanwhile, the agency, that card of the show is 666 of clubs. Um, speaking of which, Pastor Paul here was asking us about people not seeing the right clips. One of Agent Baxter and our very own Afriel. This one, perhaps.
Is that the decision of life versus death is something that's axiomatic, that it's not something that's provable from prior axioms. It's not something that's provable from prior assumptions, that it is actually something that when you come to it, it's decidable. That you can either choose the pattern of the Ouroboros with the snake eating its own tail and eating it and eating it and eating it until it collapses back into nothing.
Or you can make your savings throw. What?
Or you can choose something else. You can choose, and it's not necessarily that you know what it is that you're choosing, but it's a rejection of that collapse back into nothingness.
Like love is worth
How did
saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
And as such, welcome to the Man I Fest Reality Aloha Republic stream, where I'm going over the Rescue the Republic stream, the event that happened in Washington, D.C. Right before it, there was the whole, hey, this Gaza thing's now a Lebanon thing. On Monday, and as such, we'll be going over some of the highlights. We have timestamps of the 7-hour event. I hope those chairs were comfy. Here's some more from Papa Peterson in that event.
So it turns out that literary critics matter because they assess and analyze stories, and if they do that badly or in an ideologically biased manner, it turns out to matter far more than anybody might think. Now, the thing about the postmodernists, many of whom were French intellectuals, a particularly reprehensible breed of intellectual in my estimation, the thing about the French intellectuals is that they figured out that we see the world through a story, that was technically true. And that's a revolutionary idea. You know, the more scientific types, you know, you heard the doctrine,
and then they end up putting power on top. And if you put anything but love on top, the shit hits the fan. The shit hits the fan. The casino deck card of the show is the 9 of spades. Welcome, everybody. This is a Grimgriz stream, Man I Fest Reality Aloha Republic, where we're going over the Rescue the Republic event. We have timestamps. Let's put together the Aloha and the Republic with you see, what you might not know about Grimgriz is that he's a time traveler with amnesia that steps through an ingress portal thanks to the Google game Ingress in the cell phones. It's complicated, but in that timeline, there is the first female president of the United States, one drab-bag ice slut. No, Tulsi Gabbard, 22, 21. Bink.
There were What I saw there were people coming from all over the world, across the border, knowing exactly where to go, not to evade Border Patrol, but to be picked up by Border Patrol, waiting patiently to be loaded in the vans, where Border Patrol have become nothing but Uber drivers for them, where they were quickly processed through a system that often within 24 hours gets them with a free plane ticket to anywhere in the country, often never to be heard from again. What I saw as I stood in a parking lot near a train station where many of these drop-offs occurred were human traffickers who were waiting, women who were being drugged unknowingly, and in their foggy state of mind being ushered into cars, never to be heard from again.
Now, I know as the Christian right, we have a knowing, an awareness of the guy who played Jesus on the cross in the Mel Gibson movie being on the team of that promoting the human trafficking movie, which was suspiciously funded by a member of the cartel. You should check that stuff out. But the Aloha part of the Aloha Republic thumbnail is brought to you by our very own Tulsi Gabbard. Let's see how she closes. Where's the close? Find it there. No, close enough. We'll start here and then let her finish.
Rubber stamp that people like Tom Massey and Justin Amash and Rand Paul and I fought against every single time.
Have you been watching the congressional version of Sports Ball? You would know that.
They took what was an already egregious abuse of our constitutional rights and freedoms and fomented fear yet again of foreign threats to our democracy and our freedom to take an already bad Patriot Act even worse, to take away even more of our rights and freedoms. And both Democrats and Republicans voted for this. Well, I don't care.
I'm sorry, Madam President. I'm just looking for your aloha.
Other issue, let's put wise man that love.
There it is. There it is.
Happened. Thank you so much. Aloha. Thank you.
Wow. And now to wash out the politics from your brain.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
And we'll get to the aloha of the Republic portion right now with the one part of the thing you should probably watch, because this guy is hard to watch, which means he's probably saying important things.
We are obstacles to consensus. My name is Matt Taibbi. I've been a reporter for 35 years, covering everything from Pentagon accounting to securities fraud to drone warfare. Many years ago, my little son asked me what I did for a living, and I said, Daddy writes about things that are so horrible they're interesting. 2 years ago, I was invited by Elon Musk to look at internal correspondence in Twitter. this led to a series of stories called the Twitter Files, whose main revelation was a broad government effort to suppress speech. Now, I was invited here to talk about risks to the First Amendment, but to spare the suspense, that battle is already lost. State censorship is a fact in most of the West. In February, our European...
Here, this is how you underline things in a live stream.
Now, I was invited here to talk about risks to the First Amendment, but to spare the suspense, that battle is already lost. State censorship is a fact in most of the West.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Aloha Republic. Thumbnail delivered. Thumbnail delivered, we call that. I deliver on the thumbnail. We do importantly, in deep into the Taibbi speech, we find the hero of the Rescue the Republic event. This man, right. Oh, wait, no, it's earlier. There he is. That's the guy right here. Can you see the mouse? You see the guy, but can you see the mouse circling the guy? That fellow right there is the hero of the Rescue the Republic event. The crowd pan shots were always like people seeing themselves on the screen and holding shit up, and it was terrible, absolutely terrible.
Remember, there is no agency. We want what's best.
And as we bring to you, therefore, our coverage of the Rescue the Republic event, we'll be swinging now over into deep Blue Church territory with the man accredited with the telomere story that nobody finishes up. What's the end of the telomere story, fucking Brett? What's the end of the telomere story? The Blue Church card of the show is the deuce of diamonds, and here's the banger he gives us that you won't want to miss at 10801. 10801.
Directly. If, as the event proceeds, you find yourself faced with someone displaying Nazi symbols, inciting violence or lawlessness, or you encounter a group of people dressed in paramilitary garb, those are assuredly federal agents. Thank them for their service and move on.
Remember, everybody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Ship Clerk Baxter and and Strange Geology Pete all in the house. Hey, Parlato with the late missiles. All right, here is the most valuable portion to most of you in this event. Here at 5:54. Here, you can just run for a while, lady. I like you. She's the food babe, I guess.
You need to know about the American food system. It affects all of our lives and has been overlooked for decades. Our government is letting U.S. food companies get away with serving American citizens harmful ingredients that are banned or heavily regulated in other countries. Even worse, American food companies are selling the same product overseas without these chemicals, but
Remember when I taught you how to underline things in a live stream?
Countries. Even worse, American food companies are selling the same product overseas without these chemicals, but choose to serve us the most toxic version.
Now, why would they do that, you might ask? Well, the thing is, the problem with the corporations in America is that corporations are dragons, my friend. They're dragons that hoard gold with a funnel underneath their hoard to the old wizards that summon the dragon. Now, the old wizards summoned the dragon through this thing called the Articles of Incorporation. And in the Articles of Incorporation, there is a clause, the clause called the Fiduciary Responsibility Clause, which establishes the survival red chakra of the dragon. And I'm sure there's other things in there that establish the orange chakra of the dragon. But you see, bound in the Articles in Corporation is only really the fiduciary responsibility to the wizards that summon the dragon, which means even if it's harmful to the persons they're supposed to be serving, if the profit margins dictate it, the board of directors must get the most juiciest profit flow. And that's until we revise things like the patent system and the Articles in Incorporation, we're just doomed, because as you play those out, you're fucked. So you have to go back and revise those. Now, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but in the Constitution, the members of the military were sworn to protect against enemies, foreign and domestic. You swore an oath. Your word is your life. What? Bond. Anyway, the integrity of your word is effectively the integrity of your character. And man, this has turned into a rant. Let's let the food babe talk some more.
One set of ingredients over there and another one here. Let me give you some examples. This is McDonald's French fries from the United States. It has 11 ingredients. But in the UK, there's only 4, and salt is optional. This one has an ingredient called dimethyl polysiloxane, an ingredient that can be preserved with formaldehyde, a neurotoxin, and just happens to be the first ingredient in silly putty. Just happens to be the first ingredient in silly putty. This is United States Fanta.
All right, this is going to be a long stream if I let it. That should be enough for you. If that's not enough, I don't know. You don't need to hear the rest. You're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. Now, now we get to the my personal pet peeve portion of the Rescue the Republic stream, and that's to be found at 2:55. Wait, no, we did have a request for the 33rd minute, which it looks like it's Skillet, bro, but okay.
Threat. We must.
It's the commercial. It's the commercial.
Differences, tears of this emergency. We must set aside our differences, work together to fire those warmongering politicians from both political parties.
Everybody from the left, everybody from the right, everybody from the middle coming together to realize that we have more in common than divides us.
What unites us is so much stronger than anything that divides us.
We're a country of love. We are a country that care about people.
The one thing that brings us together here today is that we value life.
Every single principle on which the West is based is under simultaneous threat. We must defend the West.
Amplify by many magnitudes around the vaccines. And I watched a humanitarian catastrophe.
I've just come back, a great patriot.
And yes, this is my personal pet peeve that they brought to me in the Rescue the Republic. Luciferes Bob.
A great physician. He'll go down in history. My name is Robert Malone, and I've just come back from Tokyo. I want to talk to you about what you've been subjected to over the last 4 years. Our theme here is the medical industrial complex. It's in the weaponization of science and medicine. That's what we're focused on. Over the last 4 years, you have been subjected to psychological bioterrorism. You have been weaponization of science and medicine. That's what we're focused on. Over the last 4 years, you have been subjected to psychological bioterrorism. You have been.
Better get your savings throws.
In my case, my father, both my father and my father-in-law were deep in defense industry, and they're both engineers. Both were mentors. Both made major contributions to the defense industry. My father-in-law ran Raytheon Special Projects Division, which is basically their spook shop. And he went back to the avionics for the SR-71. And beyond that, in World War II, he was right at the forefront of the development of radar technology.
You know how family doesn't matter and bloodlines don't matter? Well, they don't. They seem to matter to certain groups. And back to the... Now, I got to give a special shout out to my current favorite. Okay, this is coincidence. My current favorite spook is Mike Benz. But this says it's Jack Posobiec and Mike Benz. But that's not Mike Benz. That's totally a little kid. Where's the part you're looking for? Nice. Yeah. Now, there he is. This guy. Here's a shout out to Mike Benz.
The head of the Justice Department defied a federal subpoena. And when Congress referred the head of the Justice Department for prosecution by the Justice Department protected their boss, who was protecting his boss, from providing incriminating evidence that might impact this election.
Woo! Esquire. That ESQ at the end means Esquire. I could be an Esquire.
If folks remember that episode. But effectively what you have here is when Steve Bannon did it, it was a crime. But when Merrick Garland did it, it was an authorized crime. And we now have a two-tier justice system where every year almost 25,000 crimes are authorized by this Justice Department to agents and informants to infiltrate anyone who might mobilize a political movement that could unseat this current government from power. And
remember it. Remember it. That was 40 seconds of the branding. I spared you the last 10 because every single time I play it, it feels like that scene with the six-fingered man when he has Wesley hooked up to the machine. And he's like, I've never taken it past 4. And then it feels like I'm taking it past 4. The longer I let that thing play. We have some contributions like this one in the hive mind that need to be highlighted. One is one by Cassandra, who says, all I can think is Maharaja. When I see that slogan, that's convenient because in this tab over here, I have for you from wisdomlib.org. I lost it. There it is. The Sanskrit dictionary for Maha. Number one is a festive occasion by which I festively land on the title of this title and thumbnail delivery. Man, I fest reality. Just fest it, bros. It's base reality is the dream world. And anyway, man, I fest reality. But over here on this Wisdom Lib tab, we have a festive or an offering or a sacrifice or a buffalo, light or luster. I think we might be dealing with an option 2 situation with the event covered today, the Rescue the Republic event, starring such stars as Mike Benz. Here's the part all you Peterson boys better not miss, right? The big nice prayer at the end, or the part where she's asking for his underwear.
Absolutely no sense. And we have a window. You can all see it. This is a window. If you don't like war and you don't want to go to war, well, then you sure as hell better get off your butt and do something in the next few weeks. The best down. Have given up Hollywood. Person on this stage is much more entertaining and much funnier. He's been a comedian. He's been a podcaster. He's been a famous Hollywood actor. He's done some crazy things. I want to know if he's wearing white underwear today, and if I ask to if he'll baptize me, I'll let him baptize me if he'll strip down to his undies. Is that a fair deal?
How you like that? Well, here, we'll make up for it with the prayer at the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, I happily concede this unofficial debate rap battle to the great Jordan Peterson. I imagine we would oppose. May these institutions that were once regarded sacred, so sacred in fact that any incursion.
So, this is the meme of a sheep, of a grouping of sheep looking at the stage with a wolf in sheep's clothing from the fucking Fabian Society next to a goddamn jester. Aloha, aloha. Remember, Embody, you're already dead.
In all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
Oh, no.
I'm not a cat.
Man, you lost it. You've lost it. What are you doing? You've lost it. Here, everybody, you should have this link. It turns out, if you go to this link and you make a clip of the part where he says it doesn't prevent spreading, and then you go to the part where it says it maximizes the mutation, you can get a community strike. Yeah. See what happens when you lose it? Well, the thing is you can find it if you play a longer branding, but you've played them all already, so just rejoice.
Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck your bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice despite the fact that the world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that?
Andrew Jackson.
And as called out in the Hive Mind chat, here by not that guy again, by J.R. Henry. I didn't do the Jimmy Dore bit and I didn't watch it, but he does have a sizable enough YouTube audience for me to give him a shout out. Here's that.
I say, I guess we should slaughter their children. Anyway. People say that Israel's the only democracy in the Middle East. You know why? Because we overthrew all the other fucking democracies so we could steal their oil. The only thing that scares the establishment is what's happening at this rally here today. People from the left and the right coming together to realize we have more in common that divides us, and we share a common enemy. And that common enemy is the oligarchy who did a controlled demolition of our economy during COVID. And they want me to hate my neighbor for all the pain I'm feeling because he wouldn't take a vaccine that didn't work the way they said it did in the first fucking place.
Wow, that's probably worth actually going and watching the rest of. Good job, Jimmy. Good job, Jimmy. Now, because I'm such a fair and balanced reporter, I wanted to present to you the other side of the argument by my favorite reptilian.
That's human behavior. And to predict accurately that if you provide stimulus A, you're going to get reaction B. Right. So let's look at Tucker Carlson. The black and white way of looking at what happened to him is he was going too far on Fox with a what was it, 6 million a night or something like that that he was getting, and so they sacked him, they fired him, by which time Musk has bought Twitter X, and he had a natural transition to X, not with 6 million a night on Fox, but with sometimes hundreds of millions. Now, the idea that this cult, with its expertise in predicting public reaction to stimulus, didn't know that was going to happen is ridiculous. I can't tell you how ridiculous it is. It was obvious that when he was sacked by Fox, he was going to become an alternative superstar. And look at what Tucker Carlson does. He focuses on right-wing politics and Christianity. He's the Christian right. Yeah. And he's part of this barricade. And then you get people like Russell Brand, who used to be a left-wing woker, then became a kind of new age guru, then conspiratorial podcaster, kind of in a flash. Where did that come from? Then he becomes right-wing.
And also don't forget the Joe Rogan element of the mainstream alternative media, because the illusion of choice is almost as good as choice itself. And now we do have a starred comment from Mark Parker, where he does back me up, as I'm always doing the foreign or domestic thing, because the oath you took, and he says the oath of enlistment also commits the soldier to obey the chain of command. Which reminds me of a question I asked over on the X Network today. Anyone know how to petition the government for a redress of grievances? Because as part of that First Amendment, to protect the rights one, it's got a petition for the redress of grievances line in our Constitution. And whatever could that mean? How do you do? And Grok says, Petitioning the government for a redress of grievances is a right enshrined in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Here's how you can go about exercising this right. Identify your grievance. Clearly define the issue or grievance you have. This could be related to policy, law, action, or inaction. Inaction by any governmental body. Research, understand the current laws, regulations, or policies surrounding your grievance. Know the existing framework and help crafting a more informed petition. Draft it. Use formal language. While need not be over legalistic, maintaining a formal tone respects the process and increases the likelihood of your petition. Likelihood. There's a where's that likelihood from? Is that in the Constitution? Gather support, collect signatures or endorsements from others. What? Yes, where to submit. You might submit to local. Figure it out. So how do you submit? This can be done through mail, email, or in person. Some governmental bodies might have specific procedures. Yes, what are those? The methods of submission. You know who and where I am. What are the specific methods of submission? I have some grievances. Oh. My embody, I hope you felt virtually not alone. And train.